Did Trump undercut Netanyahu by quietly asking Lebanon's ambassador to arrange direct talks with Hezbollah, a move that sidelines Israel on the Lebanon file and shocks Beirut's diplomats? Sources say the White House tried to open a secret line to Hezbollah's leadership, betting a personal Trump channel could steady the front, only to run straight into Lebanon's red lines. The U.S. backchannel bid fails as Lebanon slams the door, insisting Hezbollah talks stay under Lebanese state control and refusing to let Washington run its own side channel. Trump's attempt to bypass Israel comes just as Netanyahu rails against U.S. pressure and ceasefire cracks widen, exposing deep mistrust at the heart of the anti-Hezbollah camp. Washington's Hezbollah gambit collides with Lebanon's red lines and Hezbollah's doctrine. The group has repeatedly branded U.S. brokered deals as surrender and refuses direct engagement. No concessions is now Hezbollah's loud refrain, with Naim Qassem warning that any U.S.-Israel-Lebanon framework that trims resistance power is null and void. Donald Trump reportedly sought direct talks with Hezbollah by calling Lebanon's ambassador in Washington and asking her to open a channel to the group, an extraordinary move for a sitting U.S. president. The outreach came as the Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire began to fray again, with fresh exchanges of fire and rising doubts over whether U.S.-mediated truce talks could hold. Trump had reportedly asked Lebanon's envoy, Nada Hamadeh Mowed, to put him in touch with someone from Hezbollah, according to diplomatic sources who described the call as unusually blunt. Lebanese officials were said to be caught off guard by the unconventional request, unsure how to respond to a demand that cut across both protocol and long-standing U.S. terrorism designations. Beirut ultimately instructed its embassy to disregard the outreach, telling Mowed not to act on Trump's request and to leave Hezbollah contacts strictly within Lebanese channels. Lebanon reportedly wanted to preserve its role as the sole official negotiating conduit with Hezbollah and Israel, especially as it leads formal ceasefire and border talks in Rome and Washington. Direct U.S.-Hezbollah contact would have bypassed Lebanese state authority, undermining Beirut's claim to manage the conflict and making it look like Washington was treating Hezbollah as a separate government. U.S. officials had also previously tried to reach Hezbollah through local intermediaries, with Trump boasting of highly placed representatives, who supposedly told him the group agreed to halt its fire. Multiple reported U.S. attempts to establish contact with Hezbollah were rejected or went nowhere, with subsequent checks by the U.S. Embassy in Beirut confirming no direct communication had actually taken place. Hezbollah, for its part, maintains a standing policy against direct engagement with the United States, which formally designates it a terrorist organization and regularly sanctions its networks. The report surfaced just as Hezbollah's Secretary General blasted Lebanon's government for giving concessions to the U.S. and Israel in ongoing ceasefire and border talks.
Do not act in a way that seeks to submit one concession after another as credentials to America and Israel, without benefit and without gaining anything in return. Today, in this meeting, I will summarize our positions in several points. First, I call on the political authorities in Lebanon to stop making free concessions, open the door to dialogue with the resistance, restore the internal situation, reaffirm commitment to national sovereignty, and work on the ground to achieve Israel's withdrawal and the return of a land to the homeland in every sense of the matter. Today, we consider that all direct negotiations have brought Lebanon nothing but shame, humiliation, disappointment, and successive concessions. We affirm the importance and necessity of a fraternal, positive, and cooperative relationship between the states of Lebanon and Syria. As Hezbollah, we hope that Syria succeeds in establishing justice, fostering cooperation among all its components, remaining united and whole, and expelling the Israeli enemy from all its occupied territories. God willing, the displaced Syrians currently in Lebanon and in other areas will return to their homeland, Syria, with dignity and honor. A stable Syria is a support for Lebanon, just as a stable Lebanon is a support for Syria. There is no obstacle to a public meeting between Hezbollah and the Syrian leadership at a time deemed appropriate by both sides. Today, we consider that all direct negotiations have brought Lebanon nothing but shame, humiliation, disappointment, and successive concessions. What have all these rounds of talks achieved for Lebanon? Give me just one gain, while Israel has taken everything. There is nothing left for the Lebanese authorities to give after they surrendered everything they had for free, without any benefit. Israel has gained political advantages, but it will not achieve results on the ground as long as the resistance, the supporters of the resistance, and the honorable people of Lebanon stand firm in confronting this Israeli project. The political authorities in Lebanon have been a support for Israel instead of supporting Lebanon's sovereignty. The president did not act as an arbiter and unifier. Rather, he became a party to the dispute and a source of division. This does not align at all with his role or with Lebanon's strength, that I say to you frankly. At this pace, the political authorities will achieve nothing for Lebanon and will not be able to serve Israeli-American objectives. Focus on national sovereignty and strengthening the Lebanese army. This is the priority. Focus on Israel's withdrawal from our occupied territories and set a timetable. Focus on reconstruction as a priority. Focus on the port and the investigation so that people receive justice. Focus on returning depositors' money. This is the responsibility and the duty assigned to you. Do not act in a way that seeks to submit one concession after another as credentials to America and Israel, without benefit and without gaining anything in return. Today, in this meeting, I will summarize our positions in several points. First, I call on the political authorities in Lebanon to stop making free concessions, open the door to dialogue with the resistance, restore the internal situation, reaffirm commitment to national sovereignty, and work on the ground to achieve Israel's withdrawal and the return of the land to the homeland in every sense of the matter. Shouldn't the systematic destruction taking place in the villages and towns of the south, most recently this destruction involving 700 tons of explosives, be a reason for the political authorities to say, we do not want dialogue with the Israeli entity, to raise their voices to America and say that we will at least stop until the aggression completely ends? It is astonishing. You go into discussions and hold meetings, but you do not ask about these bitter outcomes. Under fire, under bombardment, under pressure, under humiliation, under shame. This does not align at all with those who seek the sovereignty and unity of the nation.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.